Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan Andrew and I'm super excited to be here to share with you the latest release from Gina K Designs. Now this release does not have a kit, it has standalone items this month, but it's also very exciting because there are 4 new hues available in ink and cardstock form. So let's jump right into this gorgeous new release, and then I'm going to create a card with it too. All right, friends, we have a brand new beautiful release here. I have 4 new Gina K Designs die inks and coordinating cardstocks. First up, we have Petunia. It's a gorgeous pink. I just love this one. You can see it is a nice deep pink. Has a lot of that brightness. I think it's going to be gorgeous for the spring and the summer. Love it. Then we have Kelly Green. Kelly Green is one of my favorite colors, so I'm really excited to see this. It is that vibrant, gorgeous green that I think would be stunning for Christmas, spring, pretty much all year round. Then we have Marigold, and talk about a beautiful yellow. I love yellows. This is a really nice, warm, buttery yellow, more on the orange side than the green side. And I just think that this is going to be gorgeous for so many different projects. Last but not least, we have Cadet Blue. Now, Cadet Blue has a tiny bit of green to it. Look how beautiful that color is. And I think this color is very different from any of the other blues that I've seen out there. So I'm really excited to create with this one today. One of the incentives this month is the Glacier Lace Stencil. So if you spend over $75, you can choose your incentive, and this is one of your choices. I thought this was a gorgeous stencil, and I just think it's perfect for winter. I immediately was drawn to it. So I think this is a really good choice to grab for your incentive when you spend $75 or more. Then I have the seasonal patterns and phrases. If you were in Crop and Create delivered card making with scrapbook and cards today, you will recognize this set. You had it in your kit. If you weren't, this is a great time to grab this. My favorite part of this stamp is this gorgeous pattern here. It stamps beautifully. I love the size of it for layering, and it's just really great. The other stamp that I love so much is this dotted stamp. So you can use this as splatters. It can look like snow. I am splatter challenged, so I really love it for that. I also love these longer phrases that are really beautiful, and then these shorter phrases here in a really traditional font for these. There's also really small ones that say a gift for you and a little something. Love that stamp. Okay. So this one is called Peaceful Poinsettia. It is a beautiful stamp that has this large, beautiful grand poinsettia, and then all sorts of greenery to go along with it, and a berry stem there. You have 2 sentiments: feel the magic of the season and wishing you peace. This one also has a coordinating stencil as well. So the coordinating stencil comes with 2 stencils that color in the poinsettia and all of the greenery that you see here. There's also a die. So this has everything you need to cut out your phrases on here, all of the poinsettias and the greenery, which is fantastic. Then you have 2 strips. And these 2 strips are great for the phrases, the straight phrases and the seasonal patterns and phrases. So fantastic for those. Then you have this beautiful filigree gift card holder. So this folds in to create a pocket that holds a gift card perfectly, and it has that beautiful detail on it that makes it look really stunning. Then we have POLY-GLAZE that coordinates with these two sets. So you have the Peaceful Poinsettia POLY-GLAZE that has the phrases, the greenery, and the poinsettia. And then you have, this is the seasonal, almost forgot the words, seasonal patterns and phrases. Again, I love that you can get that plaid in foil. That's really, really cool. So I love that. So I think I am going to have to start out with the blue, the Cadet Blue, and this art stencil, because I just want to see what this looks like on a background with this gorgeous color. So, okay, here I have the double background 2 grip mat. This is holding everything to my glass surface. So I have my piece of white smooth cardstock and my Glacier lace background. I've grabbed a couple of inks, Sea Glass, Powder Blue, and then I have Cadet Blue. So let's start out with Cadet Blue and just take a look at what this looks like when paired with those two colors. I'm using a dark teal brush and tapping off so I can go in lightly here. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Sea Glass and a lighter teal brush. Next, I want to add a little bit of that true blue to the edges. So I'm going to use powder blue and kind of go along the 4 corners just to add that touch of blue. Now I can tell that this is going to be a really pretty background. So instead of lifting my stencil, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a good wipe to get all of that ink off the top. And then I'm going to grab my Starlight Sparkle Gel. And I want to make this background really sparkly. So I'm going to take my palette knife here and just add some of that to the background. Filling in all of the parts of the stencil. Okay, once that's all filled in, I'm going to gently lift the edge of my grip mat so that it's easy for me to grab my stencil and just gently pull that up. Wow, that is stunning. Look at that. I have a nice clean grip mat now. I've cleaned off my stencil, and this background has a lot of white on the background, which means that it has a lot of contrast. So maybe you don't want that much contrast because you want to put some kind of focal point on the card. So I'm going to start out with Sea Glass this time to see how that changes the look of that background. It's going to be more of a tone-on-tone look with the Sea Glass and then the Cadet Blue on top. Now this time I'm just going to try to do an overall wash of that Cadet Blue on the background. Okay, so my Cadet Blue is down. Now I'm just going to wipe off my stencil again and grab the Starlight Sparkle Gel. And I'm going to do the same as I did before and just fill in all the parts of the stencil here. Just a quick tip before you put on the lid of your sparkle gel, just make sure there's none on the edges so that your lid does not get stuck to your jar. Okay, so now I can just lift up the edge of my grip mat pull up my stencil, take a look. Wow. So that is a completely different look just by using the colored cardstock instead of white cardstock. Take a look at that. How beautiful. Now these glacial backgrounds that I created are certainly reminding me of snow and snowflakes. So last month, there was a release of the A Little Something card kit, and inside that kit there were so many amazing products. There was this A Little Something die set with a stamp. Then the A Little Something POLY-GLAZE was an add-on. So I love the snowflakes in here. You can use the POLY-GLAZE and then die cut them with the coordinating dies from the die set. So I plan to do that, but there's also this gorgeous snowflake in the Give a Gift die set. And you can see how intricate and beautiful that one is. So I think it would be really great to use this one as well. I want to use sterling fancy foil. So to do that with just the die, I'm first going to use POLY-GLAZE foiling sheets to make my own foiled paper so that I can die cut several of these. So let's start out with our fuse and getting that heated up. My fuse is heated up to a level 3 and it's ready to go. I have a 3.5 inch piece of POLY-GLAZE here. You know the side that should be up is the pearly side. So you see that pearl finish, the other side is flat. So I have the pearly side up. I'm going to wipe that off with a Swiffer duster and put that in my carrier. Also going to kind of wipe out the inside of my carrier with the Swiffer duster too. You can get extra carriers if you need them from the Gina K shop as well. I've had to get them because I just kind of forget where I place them. But now I do have a system, I keep them with my machine. Okay, so my paper, I'm going to just do a little quick trim because I don't want it sticking out of my carrier sheet. So I'm going to cut that foil in half. This is sterling, so that is covered, and then I can just run this through. Okay, so that's just popped out. And you can see here that there's something really tiny that got underneath that foil, but that's not a big deal. I can just remove this. And then I have custom foiled paper. So this is the A Little Something POLY-GLAZE. I'm going to cut it off right in the center because I can just foil the entire half with sterling because I know that I'll probably want it in sterling at some point, so I might as well go ahead and do it all, and then I'll have it on hand for when I need to create something quickly. Now the one thing that here we go. But let's take a look. Oh, how beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love sterling. I just purchased it, so I'm really excited to use it for the first time. It is beautiful. And so now we have 4 snowflakes here that we can die cut. So now I did turn my fuse back on because I forgot that I wanted to use these beautiful sentiments found in the Peaceful Poinsettia POLY-GLAZE, as well as the Seasonal Patterns and Phrases POLY-GLAZE. So I thought it would be nice to go ahead and foil a few of these sentiments. Now I have my Intricut Mini here with my Gripmate 2 so that it doesn't move when I'm die cutting. have my plates, and I'm going to start with our piece of foiled paper, and I'm just going to cut squares large enough for my die. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because once you run it through on your plates, it's going to kind of mar that foiled cardstock. So you want to always cut a piece that's just the size of your die so that the rest of your cardstock stays nice and smooth without any marks on it. Look at that. Super shiny and super delicate. So I'm going to do a few more of those. The other thing that I'm going to cut out is this stitched circle from Master Layouts 15. Next, I'm going to use the A Little Something die, and that one has all of the snowflakes on it. So we're going to cut these out using their coordinating dies. Last but not least, I'm going to use the Peaceful Poinsettia die set to die cut my sentiments and the sentiment strips. Both of my Glacier lace panels are now dry and they just look so gorgeous. I love them both so much. And now I'm going to grab Master Layouts 2, which is probably my favorite Master Layouts. And I am going to use this stitched rectangle to die cut at the center of the pattern. So I'm going to make sure that this is centered before running this through my die cutting machine. To add a second stitch layer, I'm using Master Layouts 14. I love this one. There is a larger rectangle in Master Layouts 2, but it's plain. So I really like to have that stitched edge detail. I'm going to use this on a piece of the Cadet Blue paper. I'm also going to use it to cut a piece of sea glass cardstock as well. Now it's time to layer. I'm going to take my Cadet Blue cardstock and layer it onto my white folded card base. Then I'll add this sea glass layer here. Finally, I'm going to add my stenciled panels using 1mm foam adhesive. So to finish off this card, I'm using my poly-glazed silver circle here, and then I die cut the Give a Gift stitch circle. They fit perfectly together. This is going to hold my sentiment and just give it kind of that focal point that it needs. I'm going to adhere these to the center of my lace background. So I have 3 extra layers of my sentiment already adhered together to give it that nice chipboard-like feel. And I'm taking my foiled sentiment. This is from the Peaceful Poinsettia POLY-GLAZE, and I'm going to add this right to the top. Then I will adhere this right to the center of my circle. Next, I use a little something die set to die cut 2 layers of each of these snowflakes that I then adhered together. Then I can take the foil layer created with the A Little Something POLY-GLAZE and I can adhere that on top so that I have those nice dimensional snowflakes. Now all that's left is arranging the snowflakes on the card front. And I love to do things in 3s and 5s because I think it really balances out the card. Last but not least, I'm placing a frozen rhinestone in the center of each snowflake. And that just finishes off that card beautifully. To finish my second card, I've used the larger banner on the Peaceful Poinsettia dies to die cut 2 of the Cadet Blue banners. And of course, I die cut my Happy Holidays POLY-GLAZE from the Seasonal Patterns and Phrases POLY-GLAZE sheet using this die, but I've also layered it with 2 additional layers so that it's nice and thick. So now I can layer this on top of the larger Cadet Blue banner to make a really beautiful layered banner that will really pop in the center of this background. Then I can adhere this to the center of my pattern background. Now I can place my POLY-GLAZE foiled snowflakes on that background. And there is that finished card. Thanks so much for joining me today as I shared the brand new October 2025 Gina K Designs release with you. I really enjoyed creating these gorgeous frosty winter cards using the newest products from Gina. And I hope this video has inspired you to try a new technique or something that you may not have done before in your card making. Be sure to check out all of the new products in the video description by clicking the More button to expand that list below. Thanks so much for watching. Click the thumbs up if you like this video, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss more card making inspiration. Thanks so much and happy creating.